Mindfulness can bring peace and deep inner knowledge. Richard can help you deepen your practice. Watch this video to learn more. Now, today I'm going to continue with the essential attributes of mindfulness. These were defined by John Kabat-Zinn and form a foundation for mindfulness. The old list of 7 were non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. And to these 7, he later did a revision and added 2 more: gratitude and generosity. I think Barley had a question last week about why some lists have 7 attitudes and some have 9. There was the original list and then later the revised one. I have discussed non-judging, patience, trust, beginner's mind, and non-striving, and this week is acceptance. Now, what is the mindful attitude of acceptance? This means seeing things as they actually are in the present moment. The attitude of acceptance can be defined as accepting things as they are in the present moment without judgment. It is an essential core element of mindfulness. The fundamental idea behind acceptance is things are okay just as they are. If you want something to change, then you have not accepted it as it is. You want something different. Acceptance is important in healing. Avoiding uncomfortable emotions is understandable, but judging our experience, distracting ourselves, or suppressing our feelings doesn't help us heal. To heal, we must feel and validate the weight of our experience. We need to experience it fully so we can come to terms and begin moving forward mentally, emotionally, and physically. Sooner or later, we have to come to terms with things as they are and accept them, whether it is something like a diagnosis of cancer or learning of someone's death, someone you care about. Sometimes acceptance is only reached after we've gone through emotion-filled periods of denial and anger. These stages are a natural progression in the process of coming to terms of what is. They're all part of the healing process. However, putting aside the major calamities that usually take a great deal of time to heal, in the course of our daily lives, often we waste energy denying and resisting what is already a fact. When we do this, we're basically trying to force situations to be the way we'd like them to be, which only makes for more tension. This actually prevents positive change from occurring. We may be so busy denying and forcing and struggling that we have little energy left for healing and growing. and this little energy we have may be dissipated by our lack of awareness and inability to focus on what is most important for us. Acceptance is the cornerstone of change. Before you can change something, you must see and accept it for what it is. It's the necessary precursor to understanding, planning, and taking mindful action towards our desired goal. Acceptance is supported by the mindful attitude of trust. If you are full of fear, acceptance is hard. If you trust, acceptance is easy. Now, one of the most important elements of acceptance is self-acceptance. Acceptance requires that we see our experiences clearly and also let whatever we see be what it is without pushing it away or trying to change it. Notice this is not the same as judging our experiences as good or bad. Accepting something means we see what it is. It's not the same as approval. If you feel bad about your body or choices that you've made, and you don't want to remain stuck in a frustrating vicious cycle, you might realize that it's all right to love yourself as you are. Now is the only time you can love yourself. Remember, now is the only time you have for anything. You have to accept yourself as you are now before you can really change. By intentionally cultivating acceptance, you're creating the preconditions for healing and for growth. Now, many people worry that acceptance means giving up or letting go of our goals, but acceptance is not a passive act of resignation. It's the fundamental first step to change and growth. When we don't accept the world as it is, we often create tension in ourselves, our relationships, even in our activities, by trying to force situations to be how we want them to be instead of how they are. Acceptance does not mean that you have to like everything or abandon your principles and values. It does not mean that you are satisfied with things as they are or that you are resigned to tolerating things as they have to be. It doesn't mean that you should stop trying to break free of your own self-destructive habits or give up on your desire to change and grow, or that you should tolerate injustice or avoid getting involved in the changing world. Acceptance isn't about avoiding growth or resigning ourselves to the thought that things won't change. On the contrary, it allows us to see and accept what is so we can take appropriate and effective actions to meet reality where it is and carve our path forward from there. Acceptance simply means that you've come around to a willingness to see things as they are. This attitude sets the stage for acting appropriately in your life, no matter what is happening. You're much more likely to know what to do when you have a clear picture of what is actually happening. Here's a quick list of what acceptance is not: giving up on goals or letting go of dreams, liking everything that happens, abandoning your values and principles, remaining silent in the face of injustice, letting go of trying to change negative habits, resigning yourself to things remaining as they are. Now, in our meditation practice, we cultivate acceptance by taking each moment as it comes and being fully with it as it is. We try not to impose our ideas about what we should be thinking or feeling or seeing in our experiences. Acceptance reminds us to be receptive, open to whatever we are feeling, thinking, or sensing, to use the mindful attitude of acceptance to accept whatever it is, because it is here right now. If we keep our attention focused on the present, we can be sure that whatever we are paying attention to at this moment will change. This gives us the opportunity to practice letting go and then accepting whatever it is that will emerge in the next moment. Clearly, there is wisdom in cultivating acceptance. You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.